Amidst the chaos in Gaza, a crucial question looms. Can the two-state solution be resumed with a divided Palestinian leadership? What roles can regional powers and other countries play? Let us examine these questions together. My name is Datuk Dr. Ilango Karupanan, retired Malaysian ambassador and formerly Malaysia's ambassador to Beirut. Palestinian politics today is dominated by two main players, namely Fatah and Hamas. Fatah was created in the 1950s, while Hamas was born in 1987. Both organizations arose as liberation movements, but domestic developments and regional influences pushed them into divergent paths. Fatah was created against the background of the Al-Nakba, or the uprising of the Palestinians in 1948. It was a national trauma for them. Some 700,000 Palestinians were displaced from the land. The main players behind Fatah were Yasser Arafat, Mahmoud Abbas, who is the present head of the Palestinian Authority, and others. Fatah then joined the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, an umbrella body comprising several Palestinian groups with different ideologies. Eventually, Fatah would become the dominant group in the PLO, led by Yasser Arafat. The PLO began its operations from Damascus in 1965, but then moved to Jordan in 1968. It received a lot of money and arms from the Arab states. The strong external support essentially gave the PLO a free hand. From inside Jordan, it launched attacks against Israel, which put Jordan at risk. Because it was acting virtually as a state within a state, Jordan kicked out the PLO in a military operation dubbed Black September of 1971. After that, the PLO moved to Beirut, from where it continued its activities. This time, Israel invaded Beirut and pushed the PLO right out of Lebanon. PLO was then forced to move to Tunis in 1982. All these setbacks affected PLO's image. It was no longer seen as a powerful actor. This led to the rethinking within the PLO. Encouraged by regional players, the PLO decided to join the Oslo Accords and agreed to embrace negotiations in place of armed struggle. It recognized the existence of the State of Israel and embraced a two-state solution. In 1994, the PLO was renamed the Palestinian Authority as the de facto government of Palestine. In the first elections of 1996, Fatah won and Arafat was named president. But not all Palestinians agreed. One of the groups that opposed was Hamas. Ideologically, Hamas did not accept Israel and was committed to an armed struggle against it. The subsequent failure of the negotiations, compounded by the humiliation of more illegal upset settlements, miserable living conditions on the ground created by Israel, only created more resentment. The physical separation of the West Bank and Gaza made it impossible for the PA to effectively exercise its authority in Gaza. This vacuum was filled by Hamas. It provided public service in Gaza, which made it popular there. It was able to do so with the funding from Iran and others. In effect, the Palestinian representation had splintered into two very different parts. In the 2006 elections, Fatah lost. Apart from the factors that I have mentioned earlier, Arafat's demise and the unpopularity of Mahmoud Abbas also contributed to its loss. Since 2006, there has been no elections. Attempts to form a unity government also did not last due to the divergent ideologies of Hamas and Fatah. So what have we learned? First, the status quo is not workable. The splintered Palestinian representation will always be a recipe for conflict. The actions of Hamas on 7 October gave Israel the excuse to launch its massive and ongoing military attacks on Gaza. With the benefit of hindsight, we can now see that the two-state solution is the only feasible way to achieve peace and security for the Palestinians and Israel. Further, we have also learned that strong regional influence is absolutely vital to bring all parties to agree on negotiations. So what should be done? Plenty. On the Arab side, it is crucial for all the key regional players to once again agree on the need to return to the two-state solution. The position taken by Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt at the recently concluded World Economic Forum must be extended to Iran and others. A common external stance taken in this regard would be required to get Hamas and Fatah together. There is a glimmer of hope now, as both Hamas and Fatah are showing willingness to sit and talk, as indicated in their meeting in Beijing recently. All other interested states, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and others, can play a supporting role by calling for Palestinian unity. All states should refrain from taking sides. In wrapping up, we have to admit that a united Palestinian leadership is no guarantee that the two-state negotiations will resume. It still requires international pressure to bring Israel on board. All sides must be able to see the promise or benefits of negotiation. All this will require multi-pronged and concerted efforts. Above all, a great amount of political will. Thank you very much.